All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. It's been a long time since I've made an EV sector review, and Tesla and Ford don't necessarily fall deep into the comments I'm about to say, but with no offense, in my humble opinion, I don't think EV stocks matter as much as they used to. I think the last 2 years have been monstrous, maybe a little more than 2 years, and I hope you've made some good money in the EVs. But I think AI is going to become the flavor for NASDAQ and tech. And I think there's just going to be less eyes on EV. So my 2 cents, but I'll at least tell you, I think I'm shifting a little more that way personally. So all that said, again, Tesla and Ford are definitely a little more established, not even a little, they are way more established than a lot of the other EV stocks I'm going to be covering. So, take it a little bit with a grain of salt on these two, but again, my general thoughts across the sector, okay? So, all that said, we'll get into the lines, and before getting into the lines and the details, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, the horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really, really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, I am so grateful that you are watching these videos. I do appreciate your time so, so much, okay? And then if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, okay? If your opinion is better than mine, I'm not going to hate. I'm actually going to say thank you for sharing it. You know what I mean? So very much a two-way street here. Okay, let's get into it. And look, you know how much I love the 8 and the 20. I think it always works a little better with more established companies like a Tesla, like a Facebook, like a Amazon, like any of the bigger boys and girls stocks do a lot better with it. And you can see this thing just pretty much ride the 8 with absolutely no need for the 20. A lot of stocks between January and today have at least used the 20 once, twice, man, some of them 5 times or more even to at least maintain or keep it as long as it could have, right? Tesla using the 8 alone has flown, right? We get our first moment of it, and now we're in a really, really precarious position. I think that's the right word. But I do not like it when there's a doji pretty much at or on one of my lines or one of these moving averages, right? And I think what's about to happen is we're going to start heading down, right? It's been 1, 2, 3, 4 complete days under the 8 the entire last week, because again, it was a 4-day week, right? So that whole week we were under the 8. And look, we tried to use the 20 once. We're now going to try to use the 20 again. Maybe you can argue the first time, but yeah, I don't like that MACD. I don't like that RSI. Volume doesn't look horrible, but look at what good volume for Tesla looks like, right? So this is definitely okay at best. And Tesla is the kind of ticker where you're assuming best, right? So I don't like any of the three down here. I don't like that we've been an entire week under the 8. And yeah, look, do I think we're going to lose this 50? I don't think so yet. Now, if NASDAQ ends up being really, really bad, that's going to obviously change my opinion of that last sentence, right? But look, I actually think that this 100 should do really well to hold it. I actually think 50% candle right here around 720. Sorry, wow, 170. Woo, that was bad dyslexic right there. Maybe even this doji right here might save it, but at that point you're already on the 50, right? But I do think if we fall from here to the 50, the RSI will be way too low and it should bring us back up. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm really keeping my eyes on the 100. If we lose the 100, it'll probably be a pinball game between the 100 and the 50. Where's the 200 at? Okay, yeah, don't want to lose the 50 because then we're under all the moving averages and then we start talking about bad things, right? But yeah, overall, again, monster run using only one moving average. And though it does seem like we're about to lose this one, and hopefully the bounce is decent, right? So that's a good view in the daily. Okay, interesting weekly here, right? Clearly we're not making the run to the 50 like we wanted to. Definitely not a good candle, right? We did lose more than 50% of that one. Not quite the complete line down, but yeah, we couldn't get over this line right here. That's where this line came from for sure on the weekly. And yeah, look, I don't want, we shouldn't lose these three, right? And we should land somewhere between 176 and 167, right? Somewhere in that. Where does the, yeah, right here. 167 on the higher side. That's what I said actually right here. The 50% candle line. Love it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do think that 50% candle might hold. Again, I really just don't see us losing the 50 unless NASDAQ does bad. And again, if you watch my NASDAQ video, I'm not very confident on NASDAQ at all, right? So, because if we lose these three, red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 red. You watch my videos enough, you know that happens a lot, right? So, overall, I am not bullish at all. I'm definitely a little bearish, I guess you could say, because obviously I'm saying we're going to go down. But you know, I'm not ringing the alarm bell here by any means, right? So, and then I think I did this on last week's video, but let's just do it one more time. Let's say we do drop, right? Let me even take it from here. We're still uptrending right there, right? So even if it does fall there, I'm actually okay with it. I really probably should have drawn it from drawn it. Yeah, I don't know how to say that in past tense. Whatever. We're gonna go ahead and just skip that moment. Either way, I'm not too worried as long as we don't go too far below the 50. Hopefully, never below the 50. And one last time, watch the Nasdaq for real. Ooh, Ford has been real bad. And you know, I'm pretty sure this has to do with earnings. I haven't seen much. I know I read something about some sort of special dividend. I'm assuming that's now passed now, right? But look, horizontal moving average with all five moving averages. Clearly, it would have flown if it got over all of them, and you know it got over this, but couldn't get over that, right? It's now well under all of them. We've now lost this support line, right? I'm not gonna lie, it seems like $7 might be real. I do see this turnaround happening, and actually, it looks like so 17. Yeah, I think 17 is actually kind of the lowest. I think it's actually higher than. So how low did it get right here? 20. Okay, interesting. RSI is definitely doing a little bit of a curve. I'm still seeing red kind of going down. I'm definitely seeing a whole mess of red going down with green well going down. Ugly, ugly volume here, right? I mean, this is saying a lot of bad stuff. You got the 8 still coming down. The 20 looks like it's on its way down. The 50's obviously still been kind of going down, right? But any sort of recovery that happens, honestly, I'm not expecting it to break the 8. I'll say that for sure. Because again, I'm pretty sure there was actually some devastating news that's making this go down. I really don't know what it is. I didn't look at the earnings. Like I said, I think I heard bad things, and I think I heard some sort of special dividend that, again, maybe was the reason it stayed horizontal or whatever, because some people just wanted to hold the stock until the dividend hit. But yeah, we've lost all moving averages. We're trading well under. Look how long it's been under the 8. Actually, even these days, damn. This was the last day. February 7th was the last day we were over the 8 moving average. You can't be in a winning stock when the last day you were over the moving average was like 20 days ago. You know what I mean? So, oh man, devastating. This is really bad, right? Because obviously, look at this 200 moving. Okay, clearly stops the horrible fall. Clearly stops another fall. Stops another fall. Man, it looks like we're about to come back to this back. Are we gonna hold this or are we gonna lose this? I'll be honest. There's a lot of things just kind of saying we might not be holding this. So Ford could get really scary in all honesty, especially again, I'm going to say one last time, if NASDAQ does bad, that's only going to add fuel to this fire. And unfortunately, it's not the fuel for a rocket. It is the fuel for a dumpster fire, right? So, man, it's crazy that like Ford at one point was just pushing the 20s. And then there were so many moments when it looked like it wanted to go back, but just check this out. Oh, I don't think I've ever drawn this. So look, I'm going to do another one after this, but look at that. We've never broken that trend line right there. You see that? That's huge. Look at that bad boy. And then again, from here You can obviously keep going, but that's actually insignificant. This is a lot of the reason why Ford couldn't do it. Interesting. I don't think I've ever shown that on an early. Obviously, again, hindsight's 2020, and there were other reasons why we knew this thing wasn't doing too well. But yeah, that actually could have stopped a lot of the fooling. Obviously, the 100 right there too. There's a couple things. Don't get me wrong, right? The 50 stops it there, but that's an interesting trend line for sure. And again, I'm just seeing a whole mess of bad on Ford. So, hey, if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments. Otherwise, one more time, I appreciate your time so much. Hey, have a great one.